Doncaster project. We're really brilliant people. But it's the mayor that put her money into it. It's the mayor's money.
Just be careful, sir.
Thank you. I should have said that. The radio interviewed me and they said, well, how much of the council's money has gone into this? And
we just got all the evidence, sir. So just estimate. So I don't know what you do, sir.
I was just saying I didn't think quick enough. I put mayor, council, and I should have said there's no public money in it at all.
Yeah.
Bloody mayor's wages. Fantastic.
So was that Caroline Flinton?
Ros
Right.
Ros Jones. So
Now.
right. Okay. Hello. Steve, my name's Laurence. You're Steve Langton, and you're Barbara Langton. Nice to meet you. And you are head number 40 times 6. Basically, we're going to do a wax head of you for this monument in Doncaster on mining, and hopefully we're going to interview you while we're talking. It's a big trick. I have to try and do your head, be very successful, as well as you chatting away, telling me things. If there's anything silences or anything, don't worry about it. We edit it down to about half an hour. So, you know, if you go off on a tangent, we'll cut you off. You'll be this bit, for example. In fact, I'll just chat away now for a load of time, and it'll just it'll be edited out. So anyway, so you were obviously a miner.
Yeah.
A miner, and how long ago were you mining?
1979 I left school.
Right.
All I was interested in when I left school was fishing, so my first job was at a maggot farm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
But for health reasons, I packed in.
What were the health? You couldn't stomach them.
The smell. Smell and
Really?
fly bites, to be honest.
Fly bites?
Yeah. You have to put
Oh,
meat
God,
out in.
we weren't going to talk about mining, but now I'm very interested in maggot farming.
You have to put meat down for the flies to blow on or
Right.
lay their eggs.
Yeah.
But they used to bite them when you used to go in to put the meat down.
Flies bite?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Oh yeah.
Are we talking about a normal household fly?
Well, more or less, yeah, blue bottles.
Blue bottles? Blue bottles bite?
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
So I had a word with my dad, and he went and asked his mate, who was training officer at the pit, if he could get me on. And
Was your dad a
He
miner?
was mine, yeah.
Okay, and was mining something you wanted to do?
My dad didn't want me to do it,
Right.
but all my mates, well, a good few of my mates were miners, so they were on good money, so that's
I
how I
think
got.
that was the draw in those days, weren't it? A decent wage.
Yeah, but it were well paid.
Right. And better paid than maggot farming anyway.
Yeah, too right.
I'm sure there were some punk bands called Maggot Farmers.
Probably not, yeah.
There was round my way. I'm sure
Yeah,
there
so
was.
my dad went and had a word with his mate, who was training officer, and I started following Monday as a training.
Really? And did you go through, which pit were you training, where were you? Where were you living?
I was living in Edlington, so I was at Yorkshire Main, but I went to Armthorpe to do my training.
And Yorkshire Main is where?
Edlington.
Edlington, sorry. It's been a long time, I've got to catch up on all the mining locations. Okay, so you did the standard education, which was the, you go in, did you, because you have a choice, don't you, at the beginning, whether you go into being a deputy.
Yeah, mining craft apprentice I
mining,
went for.
And you did that one.
Yeah,
So does that mean that you went to
Bessica.
Bessica?
Yeah.
Right. So, and did you go to the face?
Yeah, I was
yeah.
face worker, yeah.
And so where
I
were
was,
you? Where was most of your time spent? At Edlington, Yorkshire Main.
Yeah, I was a main gate ripper, my job.
Main gate ripper. I
I
know
was
what a
setting
ripper
the
is.
big arches.
So you're doing the
yeah, boring and firing, cleaning up and then setting the rings.
Right. And how long were you doing that for?
6 years.
So was that your mining career, or did you go and do other things in the mine?
Once they closed Edlington down, I went contracted 18 months to Rosington, where we did a stapple pit,
Oh, what?
an underground chamber.
Okay. Is that a vertical?
Yeah.
So you're
Which
basically digging a bloody great hole?
Yeah, boring and firing, and it was something I'd never done that.
Yeah.
Which
When you say boring and firing, you mean blowing up and taking out the rubble?
Dynamite.
Dynamite. So you're drilling in, blowing up, digging out,
Yeah, and then I'll repeat the process.
and putting a ring in, or is it brick? Is
It was there were concrete sections, these segments,
big tubes,
which,
is it?
which
Like
were
sewage
all,
pipes.
all bolted together, just like the underground tunnels.
Oh, right.
London and that, them sections.
And that was and what was that to get down to? That was to get, was that an access or an airflow or a...
It was to store coal.
Really?
Yeah, underground.
Really?
Mm.
Why would you do that?
No idea. I don't know. It was, I suppose it was from different districts where the coal came in. So if there was ever a problem with the shafts and how they got the coal out of the mine, they could store it there.
Gosh, you just think they store it above ground?
Yeah.
How weird. Interesting, isn't it? There's a lot of effort to...
Yeah, a lot of expense, I'd have thought, as well,
Yeah.
like, because they've got a private firm in to do it,
Yeah,
and it worked for coal both them.
gosh. And so your experiences down the pit, well, I mean, obviously, you know, it's a dangerous place.
It was, yeah, I've had a few accidents myself where I've been carried out.
Really?
The
Some bagging burst in your eye or something.
face, yeah,
He had to have
the
stitches in his eyeball, which
Oh.
was gross.
water pipe burst in my face,
Really?
knocked me out.
That's like a water cannon.
Yeah, and then I was under pressure, so week in hospital with that.
Really? You're lucky to keep your eye, really.
Yeah, well, to be honest.
Yeah, you were lucky actually, weren't you? Stitched
The,
it back up.
Had the rip come in a few times and knocked me off the scaffold.
When you say
Various-
rip, you mean...
The just said the stone face, what I was working on, like,
actually collapsed?
yeah, collapsed, knocked me off the battens or the scaffold I was working on, and
So that's not the actual coal, that's the stone...
yeah, the machine used to cut the coal out,
Yeah.
and then we'd take the excess out so we could set the rings for the roadway.
Right.
Worked with a good set of lads. We used to have a good laugh.
Yeah.
And that,
Yeah. Were they all quite... were you all your age, or were they...
I was the youngest when I started on this particular face. I was the youngest,
Right.
and every year, like, it's getting less and less what's left.
Yeah.
Still like to keep in touch with a few and go and see them. I still go back to Edlington for a drink and that
Yeah.
now and again and see them.
You saw a pet name for you, didn't you? Rainbow.
Pardon? Oh yeah, my
I could see
name
your
were
hair, all
nickname
different
were
colours every
Rainbow.
week.
So you just get this back straight. You were there in the 79,
79 I started.
so it was just as punk had just hit.
Yeah, more or less.
So, and you were in full flow,
Multicoloured hair.
multicoloured hair.
That was my nickname, Rainbow.
And did that go down well down the pit, or was it like?
Oh yeah, you just,
So were you like one of those ones that was very worried about your hair being affected by your helmet?
No.
Or you weren't worried about it?
no, it,
I mean, I kind of suppose, kind of
Are they going to be in your way?
probably would actually. Sorry about that.
Alright.
Probably suited the mood of the time, didn't it? In a sense,
yeah.
kind of punk, kind of working down a pit, hammering away all day long, going up at night, and I don't know where you go. Where would you go at the night time to listen to punk in Doncaster?
Oh, it was totally different Doncaster in them days.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, there weren't many places to coach and horses, probably, wasn't it?
Yeah, shit.
Shit, yeah.
And were you in a band?
No, However, never that inclined.
Musically
You could probably play an instrument, that's your problem.
That's it, yeah. Nidge one, you know.
Nidge?
Yeah.
No.
You ask him next time you see him.
Hasn't he not told you about his punk rocking days?
No, he has not.
Really?
He got kicked out for being too political
Really?
in his lyrics.
Oh, he wrote lyrics?
Yeah, yeah.
Good God. Was Nidge Edlington as well then?
Yeah, yeah.
Nidge is my age, Nidge is 3 years younger than Steve, so we ended up good mates through school, me and Nidge.
Really? And same area, Edlington, is it?
Well, I'm not from Edmonton, but Nidge was Edmonton, yeah. Great community then, weren't it? It's just amazing.
Mm.
Can't believe how it changed as soon as the pit strike ended and everything.
Was that marked?
Was that what, sorry?
It was that marked. It happened that quick.
Yeah. Well, not really. Oh, it was about 18 months for us, wasn't it? My daughter was born the day the pit strike started.
Really?
So that was great fun. Eating in soup kitchens.
Really? Is that you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's idiots.
You were at the front line.
That's awful.
I haven't heard that one yet.
Wow.
I want that ringtone. Gosh, I'm so popular I can't. I'm going to have to do a lot of side work on you for a while.
No problem.
There's a very noble profile underneath that angry punk exterior.
Mellowed a bit now these days.
Were you angry
No,
as a punk?
No.
I think compared to some others, I was just playing at it like I think.
We weren't any of them were ever. We never had trouble, were there? Anything.
Well, really, to be honest,
Very misunderstood.
Was it a big community around here? Was it like
there were a hell of a lot of punks in Doncaster. We used to meet every Friday and Saturday night.
Where would you meet?
A couple of pubs in Doncaster, wasn't it, Bob?
Yeah, stuff like that. We used to go to.
Yeah, it's Staff.
Oh, I just went there yesterday.
Did you?
Did you?
Well, no, I went past it on the way to the tap because we're looking for a brewing and we're looking for a beer for the opening.
Well, you got brewery taps. Then.
Brewery tap, is it? Just around the staff. There were quite a few old grey-haired people. There was, I don't know if it was karaoke going on, but it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon and the music was blaring out of there. And there was a lot of people in there.
Corporation Brewery Taps.
Is that what it is?
That the one where the flats are.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the deputy on our coalface, he used to do like a stand-up.
Oh, really?
And on a Friday afternoon, on days, we used to come up pit, straight into Corporation Brewery Taps, and he'd do his country and western act.
Really?
Yeah.
And as a punk, would you go and see it?
Well, I used to go because all my mates were there, like so.
Right. And snarl. It's a country western, wasn't it? Give me the Anti-Nowhere League. No, I came from quite a punky district as well.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Very
You know the
Oh, no, it
Anti-Nowhere
was.
League.
No,
I'm
no,
quite
no.
impressed there.
Yeah, it was crass. It was crass.
Class, yeah.
Anti-Nowhere
That
League.
person's a legendary, weren't they?
Dead Kennedys. Killing Joke. Yeah, I have to say.
Well, were you down Southern Broad, Beccles area then?
Well, it was go down, about 20 miles. You end up in a place called Layston.
Oh, right.
That's where I went to school. And there was a big punk scene there. It was actually very good. There was lots of bands. There was a weird youth club. It was bizarre when looking back. In the middle of the playground, there was a youth club. And they'd be in there all day long.
Yeah.
They could use Sky, but they'd be in the playground youth club, and there'd be like cockatiels.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like strumming and banging. You can hear them all through maths, you know. It's
One of my favourites, that me read my weekend.
brilliant. Yeah.
And then you hit 50 and you just can't do it anymore because the hair's gone.
I tell you, you're lucky. Look, you're talking about me. He's got loads of it.
Yeah, I don't think we've sported very healthy
No.
now.
I'd do the opposite. I'd be like, oh, tram line. Yeah. So in the strike, so you, obviously it hit Edmonton big time.
Yeah, well, just before the obviously the strike started, I'd met Babs. And then when we went and stayed with her dad for a while, which is how I got into the chair making. That was his job. He were a chair maker.
Anywhere anyone could feed you, we went.
Really?
Yeah, we laugh about it now, but it was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
So you were staying. You had to go back to your dad's, as it were, or you?
Well,
met?
we managed to keep our house at Edmonton. We'd got a mortgage on that place, and our mortgage company agreed to let us ride the strike out.
Really?
A lot of people weren't that lucky.
So say, how many mortgage companies could do that? I mean, I'm sure everyone was asking for that.
You'd have thought so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. Every circumstance is different, isn't it? But they said they'd let us ride it out, and they did. But it causes an awful lot of problems afterwards. Because no one would take you on then for another mortgage, which you were in arrears as such. So it weren't great.
Yeah, so somebody took a chance on us when we moved, didn't they?
Yeah, luckily. It's just the small things you take for granted, you know, just being able to nip to a shop and afford to get anything. You just can't do anything, could you?
So literally, when it went on strike, money just stopped, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money
Nothing
just
at
stopped.
all. We got milk tokens for the little one, and that was it. If it weren't your family looking after you food-wise, an electric company cut your electric off. They got cut phones off and everything, didn't they?
I had some good friends, so I used to go beating.
Just do anything you could for a bit of cash. Didn't
2 or 3 days one week and then a couple next.
2 or 3 days beating.
Yeah.
There was that much shooting going on.
Yeah, well,
the gentry were happy.
Yeah. The lads that I knew were sort of the gamekeepers and that like, so you could get on anywhere. It was like a ganger. He used to fill a van up with beaters and take them to various shoots.
It's amazing how people come together though in a small community like that when everything's so dire.
I suppose you didn't need to dress up much because I mean the birds would have seen you. Gosh. I just can't imagine actually. I really can't thought that, you know, 1 minute you pay your pay packet and the next minute you don't. And it's like,
It's everyone's worst nightmare nowadays, to be honest, because and I think the one thing it taught us was that, you know, nothing can ever bring that back, so it
Yeah.
was matter.
so did it in a way kind of encourage you to make big decisions about your life? For example, change your career, chair making.
Yeah,
Did you
definitely.
think, well, we've seen the worst. What's the worst? If I don't sell chairs.
Yeah,
Exactly,
it did sort of. Once the pit shut, I went contracting for sort of 18 months, and then I'd just had enough. So we decided to move, and we moved to another part of Doncaster, into countryside, and found work straight away.
Really?
Yeah, about fitting narrowboats out.
Really?
Does that taste horrid?
Yeah. Well, it tastes of nothing, but I'm sure it's not good. And are these skills that you had, or did you just?
To be honest, once I'd met my father-in-law, he taught me just about everything. I couldn't do anything when I first left school. Mining,
Yeah.
I wasn't bad at fishing, and that were it. But over years, my father-in-law taught me most things,
Wow.
joinery especially, and then I've ended up taking his business over.
My dad is the oracle of chair making.
Really?
Yeah,
He's very famous in his
Really?
in his own field. 85 now, bless him.
Wow.
Very talented guy.
So you just took to him like a duck to water, really?
Yeah, yeah. I think he were amazed as well.
He never liked you to start with, did he?
No.
I think it was the punk persona and the tattoos.
Wow.
I was only thinking the other day, when my dad was one of 13 kids.
Gosh.
That's
And-
fantastic,
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it?
11 of that family, everyone had somebody work at the mine, Yorkshire Mine.
In the same pit, even.
Yeah, yeah. My dad and his 3 brothers all worked there, both granddads, aunties. Most of my aunties' husbands worked there.
Most of your aunties, we talk about. You got a lot. You talk about not. So when you said most of
Well,
my
my dad's
aunties,
sisters,
sisters,
they're my aunties,
okay, yeah.
their
You
husbands.
meant most of my auntie, as in my one auntie.
No,
most
aunties.
of her husbands.
See what you mean, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So did you work on? Did you see them? I mean, were you working with them and on? And
Yeah, yeah. My uncle, one of my uncles was the colliery overman, like, so
Right.
he was sort of one down front manager and that.
And so in that culture, then, why would your dad be so resistant to you working down there?
Because of an injury he had, he never worked after he had his pit injury.
Really, what was that?
A roof came in on him and smashed his back.
Oh shit.
He never worked again. He didn't want that for me, like.
And how old were you when that happened?
I was only a young kid.
So you
I
had
can remember him being in a plaster cast, like, when I was a kid.
So how? And did he walk again?
He walks, yeah, but he's not very good on his feet. No, he never has been after that.
And did that make him? How did it affect him mentally? Did he work again?
No, never worked again after that.
You weren't capable, really, was he?
No, he really struggled with it. I can't fault him for not wanting me to go down, like.
No,
pit
God.
And end up saying, but then again, all his brother and brother-in-laws and that were there. So, luckily for me, he let me go.
So do you consider to be? I mean, in the way that your career moved into chairmaking and all that sort of stuff. I mean, the mining part of your life. You love the fact that you did it. You don't regret it.
No, I don't regret it at all. I'd go back down tomorrow.
Really?
And, yeah.
Over chairmaking.
Well, not over it, but as well as.
I
Really?
think it was
Yeah.
the camaraderie, wasn't it, when you
Yeah,
all got
the
so
people
on.
you get to know and then character building and that.
That's interesting.
So it was a good life. Hard work when you had to do some.
Yeah. But physical work, though.
Physical, yeah.
I mean, what I quite like about the idea of it is actually you're fit. You're a fit guy, aren't you?
Yeah,
Well, what?
Yeah.
that's stats.
Riffling with muscles.
Used to be, yeah. Well, that was one of the best parts about it.
So, yeah.
They've all relaxed now.
I know the feeling. Did you do sport? I mean, talk about fitness and stuff. It was very sporty as well. I mean, you weren't a cockatoo footballer.
I did play football, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Sorry to keep going on about it. I'm just enjoying the imagery.
all right. Have you any old photos on your phone?
You should have, yeah.
Yeah, loads.
Yeah, I enjoyed my football. Fishing was my thing though.
And how often would you be doing the fishing?
Every weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
Screaming baby at home, it was just nice to
you
get
were able to do it whilst you had a screaming baby at home.
Had a good wife.
Yeah,
to be
but it
honest.
just caused a few arguments when we got back.
God. We were just, I mean, I'll tell you, I was in Lapland like a couple of
Yes,
weeks ago.
yeah.
And the Sami, they're fighting with the government for their identity, a bit like the Basques in Spain. And one of their major parts of their identity is to be able to have the fishing rights for the whole of the north of Finland, basically,
Yeah, yeah.
massive lakes. And one morning we were there, and they came off the lake. We were on this lake, and they came off this lake with 40 kilos of fish. They just had nets, put the nets out. They came in, and there were pike in boxes,
nice.
wriggling about that big. And because I was with all these fisher people of the Arctic Circle, they were out there like a shot. There was salmon, char, pike, and loads of other stuff. Perch, all this stuff going. They all just dipped in. And there's about 5 or 6 different methods of taking fish apart and eating them. And I was just photographing them, just skinning them. There was one woman just dragged this pike and just took the top of it and just skinned it like a stocking.
No.
And just chucked it in a pot. And we ate boiled
So
pike.
pike?
Yeah, with boiled pike.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Very bony.
What was it like?
Well, I think because it was lake fish and very, very, very clean, and it's not like muddy there, it's rocky. I don't think you got that kind of muddy taste you get here. I don't know much about it, but it felt much kind of cleaner. It wasn't muddy at all, but it was a very bony thing. And then we were literally just taking salmon and just eating it raw. And the thing was really still breathing, to be honest.
Oh, that's great.
And then we had all their eggs, the eggs all around our cheeks, all this row, and it was amazing. So I can see the attraction. Yeah, salmon roe.
Not quite the same. You're not allowed to eat what you catch.
All right, you were literally fishing and putting it back. You weren't even
Yeah.
bringing it home for the pot.
Match
Yeah,
fishing.
this is the thing you say.
Oh God, this is getting worse.
Living on beans on toast for 18 months.
Oh, so yeah, in the strike, could you go and? That's it. Yeah, when in the strike, where the lake's emptied of fish.
We used to go Sheffield fly fishing, put maggots on hook rather than a fly, and when you caught trout you were stuffing them in every pocket and that to bring home.
Yeah.
We used to go out robbing at nights, market gardeners and fields where taties were and things.
Going out on the bicycle or in a car?
There'd be 4 or 5 of us in a car and going to a field or whatever, get what you could.
Yeah.
Just to eat. Very personal.
Yeah, it wasn't very good times like.
And I suppose that potatoes are only ripe for about 2 weeks of the year,
Yeah,
and you're in there.
you used to get all the veg likes. It were shame on a little bloke that had set up himself a market garden in that
Yeah.
but you didn't think about that them days.
Well, it's survival, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was actually. As daft as it sounds, I'm joking about it now, but it was. Just trying to get enough to feed your family. Heartbreaking as well for friends who had older children. I always remember as a mum listening to them talking about Christmas, and the kids would just be, oh, it's fine, Santa will still come, don't worry, even though we've got no money, because they don't understand. And then the horror of just getting up Christmas morning with nothing for the kids is awful. But people used to donate stuff. It was fabulous how everybody got together. Used to donate bikes and people donate second-hand toys, and it was great.
It's a strange time. Because obviously there's brutality about the regime, I can call it regime, whatever you want to call it, but the brutality of the situation. And then you've also got this incredible, it must be an emotional, seesaw. Because half the time there's incredible generosity.
Yeah.
You can't believe it.
From the, when they used to go and go down to the pit, when all the police were there, and there'd just be rivers and rivers and rivers of people. And then coming back to like a small community at night time, everybody talking about it. And there was no electric, no TVs, it was just...
No electric, no TV, no electric. So electrics, it's all cut off.
Yeah.
And if you didn't pay your...
You couldn't pay anything, there was just not one penny coming in. And it was the debt afterwards, because I remember people saying to me, God, I don't get sick of talking about a pit strike, but then for years and years and years, you lived it, because even though it had been and gone, everybody was so skint, weren't there, for so many years, just paying the debt off that had accrued. horrible time.
God. And it lasted, what, 18 months, 2 years?
12 months.
12 months.
12, yeah. Can you remember it, like, you're
Yeah.
old enough
Yeah.
to remember it?
It was a bit like, but that, coming from the south, it was a bit like at the Beirut, Lebanon. It was always the news was just like, and then it was the mining,
Minus
or
three.
or whatever.
Yeah,
But they were put
Aubrey,
in a
right.
funny sort of way, and it sounds awful, but they were put in the same kind of categories as a war in Beirut,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was just it was a place where you weren't at. But that the Thatcher thing was. Yes, because I would have 80. What was that? What dates were it? 80.
84, 85.
Yes, I was. Because I remember. God, yeah. Because at college we did a whole load of. I was in college then, doing graphics and we were doing mine and NUM posters as college projects.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we had quite a militant, a militant teaching staff, and I was doing. Yeah, I remember shows of all our posters, and there was actually the news stories at the time that we were doing them. I did some quite good, fists with
Yeah.
punk as well. So I was like,
Right, yeah.
I was getting all my symbols mixed up. Yeah, incredible. But in a way, kind of, it's like Brexit, isn't it? It just went on and on, and just thought it's never going to end. It's never going
I
to.
think everybody got sick of hearing it, but
How would
looking
you-
at it was a totally different
Yeah, God, yeah.
kettle of fish.
Well, you must have thought, when's it going to end?
It was horrible.
And how?
But everybody was in the same boat, so the way everybody pulled together just kept you going as a community.
And the minute it kind of finished, you kind of sensed that community faded away.
Not really.
All right, well, once we went back to work, but then after that, our pit were one at first to shut after it strike,
Yeah.
like so. In 2 years, that pit had shut.
Because,
Well, they said it wasn't viable, it'd never make any money and what have you, so whether it would or not, I don't know. You don't know, do you? Just, I think they wanted,
It was years and years and years of calm down that bit then, shouldn't it?
oh yeah, when I first started, they told me it were a job for life, which as it was for me uncles and that, not my dad, like.
did you have brothers and things?
Only me went down, there were me, my brother and my 2 sisters, only me.
So, what did your brothers and sisters do?
Brother went fitting double glazing, and can't remember one sister worked in a bookie's shop, betting office. Don't think Jeanette ever worked, did she, Babs?
I don't know.
Can't remember.
Are they still about? Are they still
Yeah, yeah,
still in the
no.
area?
My dad's last one out at 13
Good God.
of his brothers and sisters.
13. So did you know your grandmother?
Yeah, yeah.
What sort of character was she?
Quite hard, if I remember right. That on my dad's side. My granddad was. I can remember my granddad as well. He were an ex-miner.
Yeah.
Remember him sitting in front at fire with his chewing tobacco and spitting it into the fire like.
Really? And what sort of house did they have?
3-bedroomed house for them all.
For 13 people?
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Luckily by the time my dad's youngest brother were born, oldest one had sort of married and were moving out like, yeah. 4 to a bed.
4 to a bed. Do I deal with that? No, I don't deal with that. I want a better phone call than I want a better ringtone now. They never last long enough when you want to catch them down a corridor. When you don't want to answer, they go on for hours.
How long does it last before it's not pliable? Will it harden up?
Yeah, this
Once
stuff's
it
already
comes
got a
out?
bit too hard. I'm trying to work out how to... You got me distracted. I got too interested. Yeah, but your hands and your armpits, once it's broken it in a sense of like it's like that, it's a bit too hard that. So it goes under there. And if I remember rightly, it will come out later. It's at night time and you kind of think, hello mum.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God, what's that? Yikes. So this is too soft really. So I can pack out with this. You can't model that. You want it between that and that really.
What made you choose sculpting then after art college career?
Well, it was halfway through really, and I was like you, was good at drawing and stuff like that, and college course, little module,
Yeah.
and we made a plaster, and I thought, why am I bothering to try and create illusions of space and time, whatever, by drawing pictures, when I can just work in space? This is real.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
occupies space. I haven't got to like make pretend space. It's real. It's like half the job's done. Why am I, fighting about trying to make it look like this when I can do this, that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So I became, it became a natural kind of way of working for me.
Have you done a few exhibitions in that then? Have you done?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the time, all over, yeah.
No?
Australia and looking at New York next year, and London. We've just finished 2 shows in London and Wiltshire. And yeah. That's the main part of my life, really. This is not my normal thing. I don't do public art.
Right.
This is public art. I don't really do it, but this was exciting. I thought this is something. I'm usually exhibiting work I make in my studio, as it were.
Yeah.
And I don't make it to... When I make it to express myself. I don't make it to sell, but and the gallery then exhibits it, and if someone likes it or connects with it,
Yeah.
and they buy it, that's brilliant. But it's not like the plan.
Yeah.
And after 20 years of it, people start to follow you and say, what's he doing next? And you go,
Yeah.
actually his exhibition's coming, oh, cargo. And you end up with this kind of people who collect. And before you know it, you kind of... There's a strange entourage of people around. So, so it's very, very wonderful. It's just it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I have my own foundry. I trained really as a bronze caster.
Oh, right. Nice.
And I built my own foundries over the years and slowly cast other sculptors' work as well as mine. And that kept the pressure off me having to sell sculptures. And so I could develop my own language, as it were, without having to sell immediately.
Yeah.
And after a while, I could start to exhibit what I was making without needing to sell, just saying, no, this is what I do. And therefore someone said, oh, I'll buy that. Before you know, you sell 1 sculpture at an exhibition, then sell 2 at the next. And then someone says, can I, buy, can you do something for my garden? You go, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And then that's, and then can you do something for my town?
Lovely.
and my street and my this and my that, and then before you know it, you're kind of very, very busy, So, and I don't have to cast other sculptors' work,
Yeah.
but if they're interesting people and they're exciting and they, they can help me in a sense, or I can learn from them, we cast other sculptors' work as well. But the foundry is now very big. I employ about 10 people to cast my own stuff, so these guys will be, my employees, as it were, will be doing these moulds of these heads while I'm on to the next project. Where before, it would take me a week to make the mould, it would take me a week to cast the bronze, and so therefore I'll be spending about 2-3 weeks on your head and that stops me producing other work, So now it's like a training place, but it's very interesting because it's a sculptor's studio, not a commercial foundry. So, I've got commission for 2 years now. I've been doing a 26-foot high man, which will be a big landmark in East Anglia. And I've got to cast that in bronze. I'll be the only foundry, only artist-run foundry that can do anything like that. That's a massive, massive thing. That's really unusual.
Who's
good,
commissioned
that.
that then? The community? Or?
No, a big patron, big, obviously, very rich patron of mine. He wants to create a landmark. He owns vast tracts of wilderness and stuff, and he trying to make money out of it. And this is a kind of branding exercise. So he's creating a landmark for Suffolk. So it's going to be on the side of a big main road.
What about doing one of them in Lincolnshire, aren't they? The Lancaster bomber
Oh, right.
side of the A47.
Oh.
I think trying to match the Angel of the North.
Yeah,
aren't
yeah,
they?
yeah. That's sort of benchmark now, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
How many times have people said, "Oh, you're doing the Angel of the North, are you?" They call it the Beast of the East. I should have bought the catalogue. I'm stupid. So there's a team of 3 people permanently on that, you know, working on that. Casting it in about 60 pieces. Big panels.
Well, they all locked together.
There'll be like a massive jigsaw puzzle, yeah, with a major steel armature framework
Yeah.
inside, you know.
It's just so rewarding to be able to get up every day and do the
That's
job that you love, isn't it?
Bloody fantastic. But like everything, a job becomes a job. I did have a sleepless night last night, thinking about shit, stone, you know, it's like, it's only me that's got the answer to this stone. So I fired off an email over breakfast, you know, one of those guys over breakfast, tapping away in the hotel. Where's the bloody stone? Shit. Scary as hell, you know. So,
Have you been to have a look at these stones then?
yeah,
Yeah.
been to the quarry, and basically they said, look, that sort of scale of stone does not happen around here. We'll have to wait till it comes out. If it comes out the wall, literally out the face, you know, get it. But I hope you're not in a hurry. And this was last February. I said, no, I'm not in a hurry. You know, we'll wait. Keep phoning up. So where's the stone arrived? No, that seam. I have sort of small ones. I go, well, when do you think it'd be? I don't know, mate. You know, it's nature. We just have to wait. It's like, well, I like the idea of that. So can't have a plan B. As long as I've got a plan B, I'm all right. It's just if I'm completely beholden to...
So I've actually got some smaller ones that you could use.
I'll show you a photograph, actually, after.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're smaller blocks. It's beautiful, stone. And I mean, a lot of sculptors I see come and hire all their stone from India. It's cheap from India. Beautiful like veins of stone, or Carrara in Italy and stuff. But it would stand out like a sore thumb. It would look really weird. So I wanted to be the stone of Doncaster. You know, I want it to fit and be, you know, I'm all about place and about landscape and about being in the right, you know, place at the right time. And I couldn't get some stone from India.
No.
Now milking that one. Oh, bless your cotton socks. What an angel. This is Danny. He's Saint Danny, they call him around here.
It's not what they call me at all. Possibly the nicest thing I've been called.
I'm not concentrating on this.
So,
I
See?
can't believe he eats the wax.
do you know what?
Gross,
Everyone
isn't
says that.
It'll come. It's feeling good though. So you've now obviously got are you living in the country now?
Yeah, we're living countryside. My own workshop.
Yep. And so are you literally working from home, as it were?
More or less 1 mile down road.
Oh, nice.
He works for my dad's premises.
Oh, I see. So you're kind of taking on from the master, as it
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
We built the workshop in the strike.
Really?
Yeah. He moved out there and we built the workshop.
So he was always obviously a woodworker then.
Well,
so
he
the
was
strike didn't
an
affect.
ex-miner.
Was he?
He was an ex-miner, yeah. As a boy, he went to Harworth Colliery.
His mate got killed at side of him, his best mate.
By the side of him.
Yeah. All roof came down, crushed his friend, and he never went down again. He packed in that day.
Really? He wasn't hit.
Pardon?
He wasn't hit.
No.
No.
Bloody hell. And your grandfather was a miner.
Both.
Both grandfathers. were
Granddads,
miners.
yeah.
And you're talking almost Victorian times, aren't you? Basically, till 1930s, 40s.
Yeah, 40s, 50s.
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
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 When it were hard work.
Yeah, and that was by hand.
Yeah, that'll have been handwork. Yeah. And machines that have probably just started coming in then. Not as we know when I was there like that. Some help for 'em.
Yeah.
Hard work, I guess.
Was it something they talked about, or was it like war? They kind of just didn't talk about it.
No, my granddads did. And various uncles. We used to have, as a big family, we used to have a get together on a
It's
Sun.
all they used to talk about.
Most
on
sum-
family
Oh, really?
get-togethers, yeah.
Pardon?
It's all you used to talk about on family
Yeah,
get-togethers.
yeah. I had a quick count up. There must be 30 plus of my uncles and cousins and over 30 that worked in the mine.
And they're all from Edlington area.
And next Arworth as well, which is still Doncaster, sort of.
So half the town must have just been your blood.
Yeah, yeah.
We're at 1 hour.
Are we? We're in an hour. So that you didn't want to leave that, obviously. You loved that.
I didn't want to leave now, but I knew if I stayed there, I didn't know what I was going to do, so we decided to move. And luckily for me, the new career soon picked up.
Lucky for you, my dad did all the hard work.
Pardon?
Lucky for you, my dad did all the
I
hard
know.
work.
Very lucky.
Right, in the sense of setting up the business.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah, it was very, very slow. He just absolutely loved it.
Your dad.
Yeah. He didn't do very well at it to begin with. Just stuck at it and stuck at it.
So really, you follow the same pattern as you, which is basically to mine and then.
yeah, yeah.
And how old was he when he started the business? How old? He left when his best mate got killed.
Yeah, and then he went into a foundry where he learnt, somebody taught him joinery to make moulds for patterns for bricks
Wow.
and things, yeah.
And then he went to the army.
Because pattern making is a hell of a skill.
You have to do it like for your... No.
They do use people that make them, and it's just an extraordinary skill. Again, that's dying.
Yeah, yeah.
Not so common now with computerised and.
He never used to fail to amaze me with the talents that he'd got in all different things. When it came to casting tools, making tools, his own tools for woodworking.
Oh wow! Really? You get
Just, and he just used to, trial and error, just make things, and if it didn't work, he'd try again, something else, different medium.
And if he was, did he cast these things when he was at the foundry? Did he make his own little foundry at home?
I just used to, with the steel, he used to make the trebuchets for doing.
Oh, wood we make our tools with.
But the steel just used to put in a little fire, didn't he, until it was like.
Yeah, you have to harden and temper it.
Mm.
Trial and error. Right, you want me to move?
The easy bit's the hair. It's just tempting to put the hair on and it say that looks like you.
We're about having the thing in London then.
They're in a place called Cork Street, which is a sort of gallery street behind the Royal Academy. You've got sort of Savile Row, Bond Street, Court
Right.
Street. It's a very good, famous street for art. But it's had hard times, it's been redeveloped and stuff.
Yeah.
There is a pumpkin carving, isn't there?
Not quite yet. Proof is in the pumpkin. Yeah, human beings weren't designed for this. You need 3 hands. This mouth is a pain. It's amazing what goes on inside the mouth. It prepares the pellets. It's all dividing up in there. And it's like a hamster.
I think it's gross.
It is gross. It's horrible. You try at the end of the day getting it all out.
So is that something all sculptors learn to do?
No, which is quite
It's
unique.
just you that likes to read the wax.
Well, it's quite unique to model. I mean, I do talks on this. People can't believe it. I do it. Most people, it takes weeks to do that. They say, really? You do what? You just sit in front of them and talk. You said the council forced it, and I didn't know I could do it, and now.
I hate it. No.
Yeah, what, talking?
Yeah. To
Public
classes.
talking. We teach in Edinburgh at quite a famous school.
Thomas Chippendale School of
Oh, wow.
Furniture.
Gosh.
I don't like getting up in front of a class full of people and
Yeah.
talking. Don't mind teaching anything they want teaching, but
It's a quiet little soul, aren't you?
It's interesting, that kind of whole punk background, and you're very quiet, gentle.
a bit shy
A lot of them were.
Yeah.
till I've had a few beers.
I just remember walking from the pub. Always sticks in my mind. You walk from the pub and there must have been 30 of us. Quite intimidating looking, obviously, when everyone's got the gear on to everybody else. And there was a real old lady wanting to cross the road, and she was blind. So she
Wow.
couldn't see the guy that was stood at the side of her, and he must have been 6'4", right, weren't he? Great big Mohican. Everybody just used to move when he was there. And he just picked her up and carried her over the road.
Really? Just needed a camera.
Yeah. Nice to grow up without mobile phones.
Yeah. So do you have kids?
Yeah, we've got two. Steph was born the day the kids
Oh, yes,
started,
right, yeah,
and
sure.
then Luke came along a couple of years later.
What do they do?
Luke is a military policeman. He's in Kenya at the moment. Through tours of Afghanistan and tour of
Really?
Iraq. Which was even scarier than the first trial. And the daughter makes fabulous wedding cakes.
Wow. So where is he based now? Son.
My son, he's in Catterick. No, not Catterick. It's just
Colchester.
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 Yeah.
Son-in-law's
That's
in
not far from-
Catterick.
It's not far from us.
Now that's your way, isn't it? Is that just on edge of Essex?
Yeah. Ipswich.
You go out much in Colchester?
Is there much there?
I don't know.
I just did a talk there actually 2 weeks ago. I was quite impressed.
I've never been out yet since he's been there. I should imagine it's full of paras, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
when
it's
you-
quite military.
It's
Garrison.
isn't it?
It was a Roman garrison.
Was it?
It's the oldest, it's the first ever city, first English
Ah, right.
city where it's got, it says on the sign. It's Roman, So how many chairs can you make in a year?
Can do one a week, so
Really?
the thing is I have the classes in teaching, take on antique restoration and furniture restoration, so I have to don't work out at 52 like so.
Bit of all sorts, and they've just done some turnings for a bell tower.
Oh, a bell tower in middle of Stamford that's getting
Beautiful.
revived. No, if it's got wood in it, I don't really turn any job down. I'd always have a go at it.
So are you in partnership with your father-in-law? Or do you
No,
basically
he's
set-
retired now. Still there for advice and that, because
Yeah.
obviously you're learning all the time, aren't you? You don't know everything.
Are you one of these guys that has fetishes about your tools? Are you using your father-in-law's tools and like they're all? If you haven't got them, don't feel right, or do you just go and buy Black & Decker stuff and?
No, it's quite unique chair making tools because they're not like general joinery tools and that, so you have to make your own
Right.
to do a specific job. Apart from the wood turning, but the making the sticks where you tape them and that, yeah, you have to make your own tools. Taking the chair seat out,
Spoke shaves?
yeah, buy old ones, use them. They're a lot better and easier to work with than
Really?
new, yeah, I find, personally.
Been broken in a bit.
Yeah. Better steel, I think, as well, the older stuff.
Yeah, the guy off the Antiques Roadshow, the wood guy.
I've had him in on a chair making course.
Makes
Really?
some chair.
Chris,
Which one is he? Because I watched that.
tall one with who does the furniture. Chris,
Oh,
I
okay.
can't think of his surname. Look North reporter I've had in for this area, for Yorkshire. Get a few, get about a bit.
Yeah.
Into America a few times teaching it.
Really? You're obviously a leading guy in the field.
Well, my father-in-law was. I'm sort of working my way up to that. Japan,
You've been out there?
I didn't, father-in-law did.
Yeah.
Really?
He's a very good Japanese furniture designer. Went out to teach for him.
God. So Stan's teaching is like one of your major...
It is now, yeah. Could have, try and have 2 or 3 students in a month on a chair course.
Do you have apprentices?
No.
Do you think you should?
Yeah,
I'm hoping my grandson will be interested when he gets another couple of years on his back.
It's not like being forced into the cooking business, is it?
My kids are not interested at all.
What do your kids do?
One is at university doing English, and the other's just started a music production course. That's great, yeah, brilliant. Brilliant. Being away from home.
It's the nicest bit when you flee the nest.
Yeah.
It's got you to a T then, I think.
You think so?
Pardon?
It's got you to a T there.
Oh, good.
I've got to make you look beautiful, that's a
You've
problem.
got the bags under your eyes.
It is a big problem, actually.
Had an early night last night, put my moisturiser on.
Yeah. Okay. Bit late for that, love.
So when you go and teach in America, are you literally just turning up to an institution and just...
It was the Thomas Chippendale School of Furniture. Chap in America took a franchise out on it, and he wanted to do the same, so he invited us over to teach students how to make chairs like, which was...
Is Chippendale the inventor of the Windsor chair then?
No, he's not, he when he got into it, he produced certain things on it which gave it nice aesthetics to it. Cabriole leg and the nice carved splats and things. Yeah, very.
He was the leading chairs.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Everybody loved him.
But he didn't invent them, sort
No.
of thing.
How far do they go back then?
Well, I've just had one in the workshop from early 1600s.
Really?
Yeah, it came in a pile.
I think that was the oldest one you've ever had.
So it's the oldest Windsor I've had. I've had a wainscot chair in which was made round about when Henry VIII on the throne.
And what's a wainscot chair look like?
It's just the style of it, quite square looking, very chunky, made out of oak. Bit of carving on it and things.
Bloody hell.
You get to see some stuff.
That's my dad was in, my dad was doing it. He ended up doing, he's made loads of furniture which I might have to live with, I suppose, one day. But what he got into was bobbin turning, lace bobbins. It became an absolute obsession. All through my childhood, he was in the garden shed, turning lace bobbins.
It can take over. I love being down in my workshop, like.
But we started after dinner, he'd get the bone from whatever joint it was, and before you know it, that would be being turned into a bobbin, he got obsessed with it. Designs.
Is that what they're made from, bone?
Some of them, yeah, there's some that you get carried away, don't you want to make one out of anything you can.
These old country crafts now are just dying and waning, aren't
Yeah. Well, in a funny sort of way, they're also being revived, aren't they? But you kind of, it's a bit like, well, I'm not going back to my trips, and I'm with these anthropologists going out to these places, and he's a shamanism, world expert in shamanism. And all the shamanisms were like, shamans were like, in Russia were like, when the communists took over, they were basically thrown out of aeroplanes, so if you can fly, fly, that sort of thing, and they were destroyed. But there's a kind of revival in shamanism in these places, and it's a bit like New Age kind of shamanism, really. Where's the depth of it? And I imagine, all the new crafts coming back, we have a bit of that about them as well, don't they? They're kind of not quite, they don't have the lineage, they don't have the thing, they're kind of, not quite deep enough, in a sense, to carry on the true kind of skills and the true kind of, like your father-in-law was like, it's just in the blood, done in, just in the heart of it, isn't it? But it's not a hobby, put it that way.
No.
It's amazing where things start with you, isn't it? I always remember he always used to like wood, but it all started when he used to take us to go see my nana, and there was an old cart at the side of the road, a really old cart, and it was just decaying. And he used to stop every time we passed and take little pictures of it.
Really?
And made a replica of it.
Really?
And that's how it all started.
Oh, with the wooden wheels on them.
Yeah.
The bands.
That's that's an art in itself within the wheels, isn't it?
God, yeah, wheelwrights. Well, I had an uncle who was a wheelwright for horse and carts, and that's where my dad got it from, actually.
Yeah,
Uncle Gordon's wheelwrighting.
Amazing.
another good craft.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of, you realise at the tea table, when you were 7, that these words, wheelwright, were quite common. They come up, they keep cropping up. Obviously they become something you're very familiar with. Yeah.
I meet so many people that when they see me douse, they're like, God, it's so interesting going there and watching it. Because he loves people to go up and just watch his craft. But to me, it's so familiar because I've just grown up with it all.
And you weren't interested in doing it yourself?
I did, he bought me a wood burning machine.
Pyrographer.
Oh, yeah.
I had a little bit of a blast at that when the kids were little.
Used to do commissions of houses and that.
Yeah, it just never floated my boat with me. It was just trying to find out what sort of art I liked would hold my attention.
Well, tattooing obviously is the thing.
Yeah, well, it's a very hard business to get into, especially if you're self-taught as well.
Right.
So I never wanted to go in one of these studios and just sit there and I'll have a butterfly, I'll have this, I'll have that. I just wanted to get into unusual stuff.
Well, it's interesting. I shouldn't say this, but I will. We can edit it. But I've been asked by Ed Sheeran to do a portrait of him, and I'm kind of can we come around next month actually, and I've been trying to work out how I can do a interesting portrait, not just. I'm going to do this with him.
Yeah.
And we'll chat away like this, and basically I want to film that as well, but I don't think he'll allow it because that'd be great, wouldn't it? Just like a great film to that. Because anyway, we'll go on that another distance. But I'm thinking, what could I do to make it interesting? I thought, well, he's covered in tattoos. So if I do a torso with him, and we cast a blank wax, and he has lots of mates come around, like Stormzy and all these people, they'll come around to his house. I thought if we just leave the torso in his side of the house in the room with something like these sort of tools, him and his mates can just draw all over the body. Just create tattoos or just leave this. There's this great tombs I get in, for example, Durham. When I was looking at universities with my son, ended up in Durham Cathedral. There's these extraordinary tombs of ancient knights, and one of them had been so abused over 500 years that all the graffiti in it had basically almost ebbed it away. The form had gone under so much graffiti and carving. I really fancied the idea of Ed disappearing in this kind of graffitied body. It'd be amazing. Like, tattoos go on and on. So I'm going to propose that to him. I wonder if he'll go for it. Watch this space.
Have you done many famous people then?
No, not really. As I said, often he just came and has bought a load of work, and he saw these, and he said, "This will be edited out. I can do it." Kind of. He said basically his manager in Australia was one of the old rock and roll, managers for the old school. Suddenly one day at his house, this 8-foot sculpture turned up of this manager in Australia, tour manager in Australia, and he gave it to him as a present. And he's got it in his pub, in his garden, and he says he wants to send. I'm going to look you up on the internet now. I'll be telling him about you. I've got to concentrate a little bit. Just got to get. Here goes. 10 minutes to go.
Nearly time, Laurie.
I reckon we've got half an hour. What do you reckon? Getting bored?
No, not at all.
Do you want coffee?
I could do with toilet, that were all.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Why don't you Go to the toilet and we'll have a 10-minute break. Danny,
Yeah.
10-minute toilet break?
Yeah.
Means we can add 10 minutes, not out of my time, on top of my time.
Out of your time.
Because I suppose we've got to worry about the next guy coming, haven't we?
Yeah.
One out.
You are? Yeah, it is horrible. I don't like it. Are we getting close, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Spot on from the side.
He's got a lovely face, actually. Very friendly face. Isn't
It's the first, he's never normally got it on. Take over his lives, these things, don't
he? Yeah. I'm wanting to go to the toilet now. I've had 2 coffees, that's a stupid thing to do. Yes, I'm wondering if I can use a needle, a tattooist gun,
For
to draw. You know. Could you draw into this stuff, do you reckon? Will it stick and get all...
you to just plug up.
Yeah. I wonder what I could do. You know your pyro stick you were talking about?
That'd melt it, wouldn't it? Straight off.
Can you regulate the temperatures on them?
I think on the modern ones you can, yeah, not on the one that I used to have.
What are they called?
Pyrography machine.
Pyrography machine.
Pyrography.
I might look at that.
Yeah, it's
very clever.
sort of like one, some photo
Dad's just always trying to get me to do something with wood.
You got a carver out?
I haven't been doing business in the toilet. That's the really worrying thing. It's like, you go to the toilet, it comes back out of me and goes, have you got a card? Jesus Christ!
You've got to get business where you can.
Oh God, I've been definitely in Doncaster.
Well, you've been sat here discussing how you're going to get Ed Sheeran and sorted. And
Oh my
we've got to
God.
make a living, Laurence.
We're doing some books on chair making, so
Oh wow.
we've got to get proper photos up.
Yeah, yeah.
One's off a
Lovely.
phone camera like.
Right, square up.
30 minutes.
I told you about that. 30 minutes, okay. I'm feeling that could be okay. It's not about.
You've got the mouth, 100%.
Isn't-
The mouth and the
I
bottom.
love that. Yeah, that's 10%.
It's all in the eyes.
The thing is, it's about getting. I learned it's not about getting a likeness. It's about getting a feeling or a character at this speed. You can't expect. Sometimes it all works brilliantly.
So when you're in Finland, was it Finland you've been?
Yeah.
What was it like with the wax? Was it cold?
No,
Was
we were
it
in
harder?
we were in a hut,
All right.
a reindeer herder's hut with a big wood-burning oven, stove, with pike boiling on them, bubbling away, mouths of pike hanging out of them.
is it? Just from...
No, it's not a good idea. Not a good idea. You need the sense of the presence of someone. I've done it. I did a shake once. Some shake. They're very secretive, aren't they? I thought they got a phone call from the office or whatever it was, and it says this sheikh wants you to do a portrait. Okay, well, where is he? No, you won't meet him. I said, well, that's what I do. He said, no. We'll get to, how do you, well, you'll work from photographs. I said, oh, okay. So, I thought, well, I'll charge you for it. And all these incredible photographs come through, and I start to do it, and I do the head and all that sort of stuff. And it gets given to Prince Charles or something. He goes, could we have 4 more, but could they be smoother? So they were obviously like that. So I end up casting a plaster of it. My name wasn't attached, so I wasn't worried about it. So I got one of my guys to sand it down, sand the whole thing down. Halfway through, I get a phone call saying, stop the job. So, well, why? I said his mother's died. And the whole family was called from around the world. And everything, all business is stopping for the next 3 or 4 months as they're in mourning. I said, oh God, I thought, please, that's terrible. Oh, damn it. It's 5 heads, They're all going to all these famous people. So I sent a letter just saying, please tell me, Sheikh so-and-so, that he had my absolute sympathy, and God, at times like this, how could you possibly even think about that sort of stuff? And I completely understand, and at the time, obviously very low in the pecking order, that sort of stuff, but please, don't worry about me, And I get a letter back saying, from the agents or whatever, there's a sentence saying the Sheikh was very touched by your letter, and he'd like you to continue.
Right.
It's the only job continuing. I said, bloody hell, right, God, thank you very much. So I continued it, I carried on. And it turns out that he was a big bequester of money, obviously, to various places. And his guys tell the people that he pays the money to that they must have a head as an honour of him, and say thank you. And they tell him that they really want a head of him for the museum or whatever he's funding, and he thinks, oh, okay, well, we must get a head done for them then. So he's in the middle of this kind of strange relationship where everyone's trying to make everyone else feel good. We could make it into a plant pot if you want.
Mug holder.
We could have a mug. You drink your coffee out of it.
A mug, it would be like a mug square.
This is the first one I've ever done, so bear with me. I'm going to have to go with this. Interesting.
Did a portrait of my mother-in-law. She's got... How would you describe her hair without offending her?
Just the lion's mane.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she's got a huge head of hair, and the whole thing doubled in size compared to everything else because of her hair. And so it's just like slabs of wax going into it.
Okay.
Is that a first for spiky punk rock?
So, yeah, it's very interesting. I've got
That's the first for a spiky punk rock hairdo.
takes years off you.
It certainly does. I can't stand it when he has a skinhead. Like an old man.
It's great, isn't it? I love it. It's fantastic.
Can't believe how much it's built up when you start
No.
from that long.
It's definitely you.
Right, you happy with that?
Yeah, it's great.
It's nice. It's because I this friendly punk
Whereabouts is your
Gentle
family
punk.
then?
in Halesworth,
Ah, right.
which is quite very close to Beccles.
Yeah.
10 miles, 15 miles.
You stay in Hollow Premier in the summertime when you come up here.
The region.
Ah, right. Nice.
Yeah.
That way at Beatles, what?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I've got very familiar with it now. I love it. I'll miss it when it's finished.
How long have you been coming up for then?
I think about 18 months.
Is it?
I think I've been coming.
What, once a week or
No, once a month.
once a month?
Yeah, but and to do all the consultation first, and then
Yeah.
decide to get down to do these 6 heads a month, and then obviously summer holidays, college holidays. It's amazing how difficult it is actually in the end to organise it.
Babs had Nidge's daughter in the other day for a tattoo.
Oh really?
He's lost his job, didn't she say?
No, it's just
He's what?
you want
Oh, made redundant.
Well, I saw him yesterday. He's obviously working at the council. He's a powerful guy.
Mm.
You know, they're all saying, is councillor, is this, that, the other? Is it okay if we do this and that? You're a punk, you wrote bad lyrics.
Yeah, don't
Make
forget.
sure if you see him again, you tell him.
Don't worry. It's on film. Councillor Ball, ex-punk.
I think he saved my life once at I think it was a Stranglers concert.
Oh, really?
We were right at the front and there was a massive surge to the front and he just got onto the stage and just pulled me up.
Really?
I got a gig here for about 3 weeks, I think, sat next to a speaker.
The hair's smaller than you think from the side, isn't it? There's not much of it.
That's not as much of it.
I've got to keep it as a Mohican. I don't look like a marine GI.
But apparently it's a crown, this.
A crown. Which one it's called?
Johnny Rotten did it for when it was the Queen's Jubilee.
Oh,
Shaped his hair like the Queen's crown.
oh, very good. That'll stay in the film. Johnny Rotten is forever involved in mining history. Did you ever meet any of these guys? Did you hang out with all this crowd, these bands?
We used to rock about with a group
Tribute
that
act.
were a tribute act endorsed by the Pistols from Bridlington and went on a who's who of punk rockers down the Thames.
Recreated
Oh, really?
the boat trip down the Thames.
When God Save the Queen came out, they said that if they played it in Jubilee Week that they would arrest them. The words on land were used, so they took
Oh, yeah.
To the water.
the very famous trip down the Thames, playing God Save the Queen. Still got arrested.
Yeah.
Apparently when they did the recreation, Richard Branson were following in a car that went on the water.
Oh, really?
Following the boat, yeah.
That was
Did you see the Pistols?
Yeah, we've seen them a few times, yeah.
Here or do they tour around here?
Yeah, came to Doncaster,
Seen them a few times in London.
Sheffield, Huddersfield. Been down to Finsbury Park, Crystal Palace.
Nothing under the armpits.
It's out of warm wax.
Got an emergency. Horrible stuff, isn't it?
Put some in your mouth, Steve. Give it a try.
No, 5 minutes, thank you.
So you've got grandchildren as well.
Aye. I love coming down workshop, sweeping up for me and that. So I'm hoping it'll rub off on
Yeah.
the lad.
I think it does miss generations, doesn't it? In the sense of your kids' interest and stuff in you.
Yeah. Luke's, although he's in army, came and did a week's chair making course last year. He
Wow.
thought he enjoyed
So
it.
proud of his chair, isn't he?
Yeah. So he should be. Amazed me how competent he were at it.
He's not good at anything else, is
No,
he?
not with his hands,
DIY-wise?
really, no.
How many have you got to do today then?
Another 3 today. Hopefully 2 tomorrow.
And the others from Yorkshire Main that's been then?
We haven't, yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
How did you do the selection process then?
Well,
From the photos?
yeah. Basically, a lot of them came to the exhibition in French Gate. Did you come to that?
I didn't know it wrong until Nidge got in touch with me.
Yeah. Well, people like that. I mean, so we needed, and then people applied.
Yeah.
And then Danny took the photographs, and we chose from photographs. Really, it's about story, about the pit you come from, and about the term "good head" is a word that comes around a lot. If you've got a good head. I'm loving the fact there's a crown on the.
Yeah.
That's a big niche for this one.
I thought you'd have got them all cut out with CNC and
That's not my style.
the tent.
Bit
That's
your
like you
thing.
doing turnings on a automatic lathe, isn't it?
Oh, I know, it's not me like.
Or getting a rapid prototype of a chair. But they say that you can do that on rapid prototype. They're brilliant nowadays, you know. That's not why I bought into this.
Yeah, my mate's got a CNC machine and he did a splat for me. Not to put in a chair, just to see if he could do it. Took him best part of a week to write the programme.
Wow.
Took it 10 minutes to cut it and it's perfect. It just doesn't sit right because it's absolutely perfect, symmetrical and all that. You put mine at side of it, and even though I've cut it out by hand and sanded it, there's not that much difference.
And how much did yours take? How long did yours take? A week?
3 hours.
And carries the title of handmade.
Pardon?
And carries the title of handmade. We've never sat down for as long without a TV in front of you. Never sat down for as long without a TV in front of you.
So you're in the workshop every day?
Yeah, 7 days a week.
7 days a week?
It's not like a job, it's
No.
better than that. I were hoping when I took over from him that I'd be able to do 3 or 4 days and then have a good bit of fishing doing, like going on. Just hasn't worked out like that.
And what's this book? Who's publishing the book?
Father-in-law. Oh, yeah, we're going to get it done through the editor of one of the working magazines.
Oh, great.
So he's got it all written out. Has it printed out yet?
Yeah, vast majority of it's done, just
We're just-
forwards, proofing.
We're just waiting for decent photos now.
We'll put your earring in. We'll do that in bronze.
Lovely, thank you.
Is there one on this side, or is it two?
To one each side.
I think they're older than the kids, aren't they, those earrings?
Yeah, I can remember the day I went from Waterdale. Jeweller's shop near Stafford Life. Just had one of them little guns fired a stud through.
It's all changed now.
Do you do it at your tattoo
No,
parlour?
no, not into Pearson.
Where are you based?
Mr. T,
Misterton.
yeah. It's about 20 odd miles away from here.
Right on the border of South Yorkshire, Nottinghamshire and North Lincolnshire.
It's definitely got you there, like. It's good.
Pineapple.
Very deep in thought, Steve. Very deep in thought.
Always goes quiet in the last 10 minutes.
How do you find it on YouTube?
Suppose you have to concentrate.
Yeah,
haven't you?
like the last. There's no way back. What's it got? Next I'll see you with a glass of champagne in your hand and opening the thing.
Not to do lager.
Well, we have gone to the brewer's tap to see if they'll do a brew for us.
Got a friend that's brews his own beer.
Yeah?
Business. Idle Brewery.
Idle.
It's on the banks of the River Idle.
Ah. Where's that?
West Stockworth.
Where's that?
Right up board, next village to Misterton.
Oh. Is that where you live?
Yeah, yeah, he's got the White Hart there and built. He's got a brewery in the yard.
Hello. See, Dad's the last one left,
Mm.
and he was injured as well.
Yeah.
So how did he deal with incapacity, really, I suppose?
Don't know. It just seems to have got on with it over the years. Like, it's something I've never spoke to him about. Like,
It's just adapted. He's very quiet about it, though.
yeah, yeah. He's never had a lot to say. Like,
Luke's watching you in Kenya.
Oh, really?
is what?
Luke's watching in Kenya.
Any advice? Any embarrassing questions to ask? Kenya. Jesus Christ. Apparently you made a good chair. Danny, is any white spirit about?
Aye. Do you want to watch your dad?
Yeah. Wow, look at that. That's awesome. Spitting image. Got them right droopy ears right as well.
You're so sweet. I'll give you a bell in a bit.
Alright.
Alright, mate. See you in a bit.
You went to Fulham?
I have. See you in a bit. Bye.
Did you just play the game?
No? See you later.
Is it okay? Babs?
Yes, fine, yeah.
What's he doing in Kenya?
It's with a military place. They've got some battle battalions out there at the moment.
Built
training.
an airport out there.
Wow.
Strategic place for it to have one.
It's been out there since July. He's all ready for home now, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Are you happy with it?
Yeah. It's going all right. I just want to
You get a break before next one then?
Well, we've gone on a bit, so I won't get much of one. We were
You
late
don't
to
need a break. You're just on the hunt for some white spirit.
Thank you.
Try and see if we've left any since last one.
Bless your heart, well done.
If I tip some into a lid on there, is that good?
What's this little pot that I use now?
Look at this. You've got
Been around the world with me, that has.
Oh yeah.
What's the white spirit do then?
Makes you look younger.
It'll take years off you. You'll be chuffed. You'll be chuffed after the
You're
white
just going
spirit.
to rub it into his face? No, I mean his face. Will it work?
If I like you, you get the white spirit treatment.
If he doesn't, pours a white spirit on and lights it.
Yeah.
It's called flaming pineapple.
Have you had all different age groups in there?
Yeah. We've had mine as grandchildren.
Have you?
Yeah. Thought we'd get a young one.
That'll make it look better.
Fill that away. Inspirational. Flurry. How are we doing? What time?
5 seconds.
It's like the generation game in the end.
So blend it all in.
Just a little bit of it. Just take the. So it just don't look like a toad.
One thing you haven't got in your magical suitcase is a big tub of water.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I've got the box.
What, for water or?
Yeah, in the back of the van.
It's definitely a cracky light. I like this. So clever.
He looks 20 on this side. Now I can't grip the damn stuff. And then the armpits, no, I just need to-
Feel it there.
Yeah, it's too strong. I can't. No, that's okay. I can get it. Clean your hands. All right.
Don't be afraid to step in, Ellie. The tendency is like hide from a distance, but don't be afraid.
Getting everyone's eyes there. Which is message nudge. This message nudge to showing you.
No.
So they're doing room audits at the minute, that's why people keep popping their head in. So every 30 minutes to count how many people are in each room.
That was a quick count up.
She knows that it's the same number.
Why?
To work out where they can rehouse people, take other rooms, all sorts of stuff. I found one. Might even.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Alrighty, I think we're done. Steve the anarchist wins an anarchist wins a chair maker.
That'll do, I'll settle for that.
Can't wait, I've got to stop. There you go, sir.
Fair weight to it.
Yeah.
It is.
Is it like looking
How
at yourself?
much? How much weight have you put onto that then?
God knows.
Isn't it a fair bit? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you started. Brilliant.
Awesome, isn't it?
Absolutely nice.
The great thing is when you go out the room and I pick it up again, I go, oh, that's him, yeah, that's him. All you do at the moment is just see differences.
You normally let them swim for an hour first, don't you, and then we pick it up.
Yeah. Great. Now I think we do the photograph.
Do it to the camera.
Oh, this one. Don't smile because it doesn't. You'll look angry. You'll look angry.
You've got to keep the same
Anarchy in the
going.
UK.
Ace.
All right.
Yeah, brilliant.
Thanks, Steve. That was really lovely.